I remember about a year and a half, maybe 2 years before May 21st, 2011, Harold Camping was already, well, he was already doing the open forum for 50 years straight, 5 days a week. And then he would have the Bible study on Sunday for an hour and a half. But the 2 years beforehand, he started to work on Saturdays also and do the open forum for an hour and a half. And it's not just the hour and a half a day, but there's also, you know, behind the scenes there, what you got to do and get prepared for everything. It's because there was urgency, because he was announcing that Stephen was coming. I mean, he was saying that Christ is on his way, you know. And in 2011, that's the time that Steve claims to have. Well, he literally told me, because I asked him, when did you get saved? Like, when did you start hearing about Harold Camping? And the answers changed 3 times. First, he got saved on January 11th, 2011, 1/11/11, and then he got a quickening spirit on 12/12/12, and then he said he got saved on May 21st, 2011. That's when he received this Holy Spirit there. So that was from the beginning. Me asking these questions, they didn't line up because he forgot what he told me the first time. That's why there was always a suspicion behind everything that he said, because nothing seemed to be consistent. So Harold Camping was warning us that Christ was returning, and that's the thing. Like, you know, if one man is warning the entire world that you know, Stephen James Christ is on his way, you would think that James would have a little bit more respect for, you know, John the Baptist, who's proclaiming that he's on his way. But it doesn't seem that way at all, because Steve's called Harold Camping a false prophet, even though he purposely made the video for me, claiming Harold Camping is a righteous man, and be careful when you call him a false prophet, because, you know. And then he used the Gematria book to prove it. And then, I mean, I'm not talking about the words itself that are added. I'm talking about when you type in the number, the name, and then it goes to the Kelley Blue Book, and then what it says there. So that was the only thing I've ever really paid attention to was, what did it say when you just typed in the name and the numeric value according to the Bible Blue Book, not what was said on the lines, because that never made sense to me. Why do you scroll all the way down and then pick something that's good and then ignore what's saying bad about right above that paragraph? So that's one of the things that has always, I looked at, like, well, I mean, whatever. But yeah, Steve, I don't understand, like, why. I just have a couple questions, Dave. I'm just saying the freaking question, for Christ's sake. Why is it that if you're Jesus, right? All right, I'm just saying, I mean, you know, I already, it's not if, it's just, we all know you're not. So, but the role, the WWE script here, you know, Andre the Giant fighting Hulk Hogan. It's like, why is it that you claim to be right? And there was a man in 2011 that was, I mean, before that, but he was claiming about 2011 that Christ was coming on May 21st. And you, I mean, that's like you know, you could have went that route too. You might have gotten me a little bit more if you would have said that, well, he was announcing that I was coming, yeah, because I woke up at 1:11:11, and he was saying about 21:5:11 that Christ is returning. So, you know, he was talking about me. And but you didn't go that route because you didn't want to be attached to someone that the entire world, besides maybe like 144,000 people, believed that he was a false prophet and a liar and a, you know, whatever. But as you can see, you know, as you can see, if you can see, only if you can see, as you can see, he's not. He just preached the word of God. Very well. Very well, thank you. But you, on the other hand, Steve, I mean, I know Christ, see, here's the thing. When he was walking the earth, the only time that he was ever walking by himself, I don't believe he walked around with scriptures in his hand, and he damn sure didn't have a book of gematria in his hand either. His information just came straight from his pineal gland. You know, a place where you meet God face to face, a place called pineal. So when it comes to you, I've literally never seen you even hold a Bible in your hand and read a word, read one passage from it. Everybody else I did. You, I didn't. I mean, well, I mean, I understand because you say you decoded the entire Bible, and you're just like, yeah, I mean, you're just all-knowing and omniscient, and that's why when you do the book and you say things in there, you type things away. You said to me the one time, like, this lady came to my house, and I did a reading on her, and I told her, like, so many things about herself that she was like, oh my God, how did you know? You know, it's not because I'm the leader of the Gang Stalkers and I know everything. I'm trying to be omniscient and omnipotent, and I like know everything about everybody. Well, that's the reason why I know everything about everybody, because I have surveillance on them, you know? I mean, but I can pretend to be God. Even haven't I told you that ye are all gods? You know, like God's possession, you know, like little case G. Like ye are all gods. Like he possesses all of you guys. Haven't I told ye that? So I just thought of that recently. How Harold Camping had a go ahead, I don't know why you're there. How Harold Camping was really showed a lot of urgency and stepped it up even more, you know, to warn people. What are you doing, Steve, to warn people that Christ is coming? You're not doing shit because you don't believe in Christ. And when you talk about transforming, look, I know you're talking about when I get into absolute full power and I'm given the crown and the key. They'll give me this key and I'll say it's from David. So when you transform, the only time you're going to really transform, Steve, is when you finally turn to God. That's all. When you finally turn to God and you stop with all these shenanigans, you stop trying to play people, then you'll finally transform into a child of God. In the meantime, you're just a big fat fraud. Big fat hypocrite. And if you are stuck in your house, I mean, take some advice from Yamahamba over there from St. John over in Africa. You need to get out. I mean, your ego will start to get ginormous from being stuck in a house. But again, that's only if you were. We know you're not. And when I say we, it's us, the ones that know. The other ones that don't know, they don't know. The ones that do know and they hide the truth, well, they're idiots. They're the major idiots in this world that still stick up for you and back you. Anybody that backs you, okay? Anybody is an idiot. Anybody that's watched my videos and the amount of evidence I presented to just show your character alone is frauded, you guys are idiots to still back him. And that's just a fact, because that's the fact. The fact is, it's idiotic to back somebody that you know is has a disgusting spirit. And then that's why I do comparisons. I show Harold Camping. I show how he taught. I show people's faces who are kind-hearted, where you can look into their eyes and see pure kindness. And then look at you, Steve. Just look at you. That mug, that UGG mug, it's just oozing with evil intention and unpure thoughts. You're in a season of rest. You mean you're in a season of being a lazy ass, because they promised you that you were gonna roll, and you're just sitting back, just chomping away, pretending that you eat oodles and noodles when you're pulling up in your little red Corvette, and you go into your studio looking like a bum, putting on old clothes, playing the role. I mean, look, you're a good actor, Steve. In the beginning, you were a good actor, but now you're like a bad actor. And you literally remind me of a wrestler that talks crap to the other person, knowing you ain't gonna do shit. You're just yapping your mouth, talking about how you're gonna transform into a, you know, like Jesus or God. I mean, you can't wait till your hair turns white and your eyes get like flames of fire and smoke proceeds out of your mouth or something like that. You told me before. And when you wake up, you're just so glad that you're King of Kings. So, you know, Harold Camping did warn us that Christ was coming. He just didn't warn us about the Antichrist coming. But I'm warning people that the person playing out the Antichrist is here, and his name is his stage wrestling name is Stephen James Deshawn, and he is here, and he is acting as Jesus. He's doing a very bad job at acting like Jesus, but acting like the Antichrist, yeah, you're doing a better job with that, Steve. You might want to just flip the script and just stick with being the Antichrist, because it's like, at least you'll be more believable. If you want to put fear into people's hearts, act as if you're the Antichrist, man. Start just, you know, because number one, Steve, well, I mean number 2 and 3 and 4, but you're the vicar of Lucifer, which means you're not Jesus for sure. And but they gave you that. Yeah, you gave yourself the title, whatever. You had, look, you wrote the damn thing yourself, right? I can tell, because you even said in that article, like, talking about somebody else, and probably Zachary Carr or something, your partner, and you're like, yeah, but he's also a flat earther, and because that's what the Zeus character wrote, even though it was your own handwriting. But and you could tell the way that the words are scribed that it's you, you know. So if you're Satan and you're claiming, if you're trying to portray that role to the elite and say that that's, you know, that's where you're getting your information from, I would say, why don't you step it up, you know, and just get out and just say it, man. Just say it to the world that that's who you truly are. I don't know what you're afraid of. I don't know why, you know, if you're Satan, why would you not tell the truth in our face and just rub it in our face and be like, haha, I'm Satan, losers. There's nothing you can do about it. Because I'm the vicar of Lucifer. So that's all I really got. I just figured, you know, maybe you should have shown Harold Camping some respect if you're playing that role of Jesus Christ. Because that would, you know, wasn't he announcing that you were coming, right? I mean, he said Christ is coming. So instead of calling him a false prophet now, after I decided, I don't want to listen to you anymore, Steve. I don't want to hear your voice anymore over the phone, and I don't want to see your text messages. So once I shut you up, immediately you just turn and Harold can't. Everybody. Funny thing is, everybody who has turned on me and stayed turned has used Harold Camping as the turning bait. False prophet Harold Camping. False prophet. Robin, false prophet. Liar. Yous all did the same thing. Yous are all sucking each other's ass. And yous aren't original whatsoever. Yous are all followers. You follow each other into the bottomless pit. And when you go to the bottomless pit, you can't fulfill your desires because you're constantly reaching into your lower carnal desires, which is the bottomless pit. And you can tell by, you know, there's people that you can just listen to, right? You can see, you listen to on YouTube, and you can tell there's like, I'll give Derek from a glop of poop as a prime example. When you listen to him talk, there is a blindness that there's something he just can't see. And what he can't see is what's right in front of him. Because his mind's eye, it's not active. The reason why it's not active is because he's not searching for answers. He just picks up the Bible and and just reads the Bible. Doesn't interpret a damn thing, just reads it. I mean, look, if you're adding minister to people, start adding the minister to your sermon and explain what the hell you're saying. I remember before, you know, my wife was like when we were on good terms, all of us were on good terms. I'm like showing her Derek. I'm like, look, here's Derek. She's like listening to him read the Bible, right, and talk, and then she's like, I don't understand what he's saying. I'm like, well, I mean, he's you know, he's okay. He's just reading the Bible, and she's like, yeah, but, and I tried to show her again. It's like, she's like, I'm sorry, Poop. He just doesn't make sense. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're kind of right. I mean, I try to give do I wait for the longest period of time. I gave everybody an opportunity to prove that they can see with this thing up here, and they proved that they can't. So when I see Derek, I just see I feel more sympathy for him, because you can see that there's this delusion of everything's going to be great. I mean, it will be, but he's not seeing what's good, what has to take place before it becomes great. And the same thing with Tyler. Tyler has that look to him, like that delusional look as if, yeah, because he's listening to what Steve told him, that he's gonna rule, that they're gonna be kings, and they just started last year, where as if they are the 144,000. Look, sorry to tell you guys, but we were told about this over 7 years ago, and the spirit of the Ninevites are here, and they're here to warn you about what really is going to take place. And then on top of that, good news behind it. How are you going to get there? Everybody's going to get there, but so many people are going to be backing in with poopy smell on their pants because of well, because they were deceived. I mean, it's worse. It truly is worse for the people that were deceived than the ones that have no idea. Because the ones that have absolutely no idea, the 7 billion people, they're just going about their business every day, not knowing anything, and then it'll happen. Once that happens, they have to go through that little bit of fear, and then everybody transforms. But the ones that were promised, here's the reason why it's going to suck so bad also for you guys that were promised to rule. Well, Satan lied to you is number one, and then then to the elite and Steve and all of them. Once you realize that your power, you lost your power because you guys are so damn egotistical, it's sickening. That alone, okay, there's your punishment, another punishment. That alone is going to devastate you guys. That will destroy you guys. Your ego will be absolutely crushed. You know, like Pinky had that account, crushed, smashing egos. And so when you realize that you don't have any more power, and you start crying because of it, like a spoiled rich yuppie, because that's all you are, Steve. You're a spoiled rich yuppie. I mean, you made $250,000 a year, right? And you mean to tell me that what'd you do with all your money? If you're so poor and suffering, but you've made millions of dollars in real estate, are you really that stupid with your money? I mean, you're Jesus Christ, for Christ's sakes. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you be a little bit smarter with your money? Wouldn't you still have something if you made all of that money that you bragged about making, and then all of a sudden you turn around, now you have nothing? Come on, Steve. Your stories are just so damn fictitious. It's terrible.